Hey guys, I'm Grestar, and how about we react to RWBY Volume 2, Chapter 5, Extracurricular. As with the rest of my RWBY reactions, this video will only include me, so if you would like to watch the official RWBY episode along with me, click here. It will take you to the Rooster Teeth YouTube channel and the RWBY playlist specifically to the video that I'm using, so it should have better synchronization than the Netflix version or the DVD version, so that's why I'm providing this. Last time, I'd say the biggest thing that happened was Blake and Sun infiltrated the White Fang recruitment kind of meeting sort of dealy, and they learned that, like, Roman, who was, like, sweet-talking all of the new Faunus, the new recruits, introduced the fact that they actually had, like, Atlas weaponry at their disposal. Like, they had a mech, and he said it was just, like, one of a few, but I assume that was, I assume they have more than he let on. I don't know, of course, but yeah. So when Blake and Sun were discovered, they then had to quickly exfiltrate, but they were chased by Roman in the mech, and then, Blake, well, all, the RWBY team, and then Neptune and Sun, really, but Neptune and Sun were kind of out of the game pretty early on. They had to fight the mech, and we did get to see some pretty awesome teamwork. I was kind of sad that we didn't get to see any of the development of the teamwork, because RWBY's just shouting out all of these, like, move combo names, and I didn't recognize any of them. Like, I don't think we ever got to see any sort of that building, the idea formation, in other episodes, and so it was just kind of like, bam, look how cool we are as a team, and I did think it was cool, and I'm glad that they reached that point. I just kind of wish that I had gotten to see more of the step-by-step sort of process to it, So, anyway, but that happened. They defeated the mech. Roman was saved by Neo, otherwise known as Cotton Candy Girl, and, I don't know, like, they just shattered into glass, and then they were in the helicarrier kind of dealy, flying away, So, I don't know what her semblance was at all. Some sort of illusion, but I don't know if it's just, like, illusion, or if it's only mirror-based, or, how specific or how broad it is. I have no idea. I mean, does it involve teleportation too? Because I'm pretty sure the two didn't, like, run and jump into any sort of conveniently placed carrier. Like, I just didn't see anything. I think I would have seen or heard something. Maybe not, but I think I would have. I suppose the other biggest thing that we learned in that is that Penny, although an android, actually has the, like, can create an aura. She has an aura, despite not being a living thing, which, I don't know too much about how auras work at this point, but I still found that interesting because from what I know, only living things like creatures can have aura, or auras. And that's why, the Grim Beasts are the exception. They don't, because they don't have a soul or something. So does that mean Penny has a soul? Or what? I don't know. I still think that General Ironwood, was that his name, Ironwood? It could be in on the whole Cinder evil scheme thing, but we still don't have any concrete evidence of that yet, and we haven't seen any sort of, like, dramatic foreshadowing scene where he's all like, we haven't had that scene yet or anything, so it's possible, but I can't say anything for sure. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say before watching this episode, so with that said, let's get to watching. Alright guys, for the best synchronization, I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, play, and when I say play, you hit play. Let's do this. So, 3, 2, 1, play. I do like that starting music, it's nice. Alright. Not the intro. I mean, not that I hate the intro. I don't hate the intro. I like this part. Let me listen to the next part. Maybe it's better now. Let me listen to it. It's... I don't know. It's not my favorite. It's just like, I'm trying to... It fits for a second and then it doesn't fit again because it's going like too fast and then it fits again. But okay, have you ever done this, like when you're in the car and you turn your blinker on and you hear the clicking, but then you look ahead of you and you see other people with their signals on? And for a few of the flashes, the flashing and the clicking like match. But then they stop because one is actually a little faster or a little slower than the other, And so they just fall out of sync. It's kind of like that, I guess. Anyway. RWBY starting. Let's watch it. Extracurricular. What? Pyrrha! Hello, darling. How are you today? I see. Alright. What's going on? Oh! Combat training. Maybe. That was... I don't know how exactly she got her spear again, but it was cool. She is quite fast. Quite powerful, quite everything. That was cool. Just Captain America. Do these guys' weapons, do they have different forms too? I'm also wondering at this point, it's just now occurring to me, like, why is she soloing a whole other team? Is that an actual combat exercise, like, encouraged by the teacher? I mean, they could still just be wanting to get back at her, but... Does she use her shield to kick off for momentum? I don't think that works if the shield is just positioned at your feet. I just feel like that's breaking physics, but I guess most of this breaks physics, so... Well, yeah. Was there ever any doubt? Jean! Jean! Jean... No. That's fair. Also, did you guys know that Mercury is a synonym for Quicksilver? Yeah, I mean, not in every definition of it, of course, but yeah. I made that mental leap during the last, few chapters. So I have to imagine that Pyrrha here is going to lose because we just saw how good she was, and now we get to see how good Mercury is in comparison, right? Because he's a bad guy, they have to set up just how powerful he is, you know? Also, his name might not be Quicksilver, but I have to assume, being Mercury, that he's got to be fast. Wait, does he actually, like, only kick? Is he actually a hand-to-hand person? I don't know what kind of shoes he's wearing, but pretty durable. You see, that one worked because there was actually force behind it to kick off of. Oh. Huh. I'm surprised. I totally thought he was gonna show off. Though I am surprised that the teacher's so chill about it. I mean, she seemed more, like, frustrated with him than anything, but... I want to know more of his motives now. Blake, you're falling behind. Yeah. Oh, she looks very tired. I didn't notice that before. Aw, son. Yeah, look at her eyes. Good gosh. Oh, what do you know? Oh, they're planning the dance? Cool. It looks like she almost fell asleep there. So I was just wondering, like, what she was reading before. Like, were those her notes, or was that something, like, case specific? Oh, come on. Sing anyway. Sing anyway, Jean. Oh, why he's such a butt. Wait, why? You could still have fun. I mean, I get it. Friends wanting everyone. Yeah, but work harder, Jean. You could do it. Oh, I couldn't really tell. What? I just want them to go to the dance. What's dumb? Very hard. Oh, you should just ask her, Jean. It's friend zone, you know. They're just not in. Well, he's at least not into her yet. Oh, hmm. Well, that's how she should totally play it. I don't really find that interesting. I find that obvious, but okay. So underpowering the enemy? Because the dance? Or because of what looks like a needle? I don't know. I don't like needles. I'm gonna take a drink. Well, just waiting for the credits, you know. The usual kind of thing. So did they used to just show fan art at the end? Or do they still show fan art at the end? I don't know. Either way, that's pretty cool. Good for them. Pre-order RWBY Volume 2 now at store.roosterteeth.com. You could pre-order it at like the 5th episode? Interesting. Well, then again, I don't know how many episodes there are, or chapters there are in this volume. In the first one, there were 16, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know about this one. Okay, so this one just ended, and this episode was 12 minutes and 56 seconds long, and now it is time to talk about it. So, I mean, the main focus of all of this, I believe, is fair to say, is we started with the Pyrrha fight, and then we ended with the results of the Pyrrha fight, you know, with Mercury talking about his fight with Pyrrha. So that was framing the episode, so that's clearly quite important. You know, we know that Pyrrha, I think we've always known that she was a really strong, capable fighter. And so now they're learning that she's a strong, capable fighter, and they're learning how exactly. Now, I never thought that, I mean, like, they seemed really like, oh, interesting, you know, at the end there, but I never thought anything like that. I'm like, yeah, of course you're gonna use, you know, your semblance however you can, and it makes sense to me that you wouldn't want to broadcast it, especially when it's not, like, that kind of power. If it is something where you can just shift your opponent enough, just enough to give you an opening, you know, that's all you need. So now I see why, you know, Mercury, gosh dang it, sorry, why Mercury was so quick to forfeit, because he learned all that he felt he needed to at that time, like all that he wanted to figure out, he felt he did, so, you know, he just backed off and called it there. Which, you know, is a little bit suspicious, maybe, but he clearly doesn't care, you know? I guess he hates waiting, so that's one thing. So that was what I felt was the biggest part of the episode, was just hearing how they're kind of scheming against the combatants, you know, that are potential combatants, I suppose, for the tournament. Or maybe just even for when they attack Beacon, which might be a thing. I imagine that it will be, but I don't know for sure. The next most important part, I suppose, is just the fact that there is a dance coming up. And you know, Blake is still stressing over the whole White Fang thing, and I don't blame her, but I do hope that she'll come to relax. It's one of those things where even though I understand where a person's coming from, I'm just like, you know, come on, listen to your friends, you know, where I'm upset that they're not, like, doing what I want, but I'm not, like, hating on Blake for not doing it. Like, I get it. I'm just, you know, for the good of Blake and all her friends and just the situation as a whole, like, her beating herself up like that, you know, and staying up super late and whatever, it's not helping anything, really. It's only hurting. So, at that point, that's where I would want things to change, just so they could get better. I'm gonna, like, forever feel bad for Jean, because he tries so hard. I don't know why he's so infatuated with Weiss, but I mean, I get that, though. You know, if you do genuinely like a girl, even if they're not good for you, or the other way around, if you like a guy, even if they're not good for you, sometimes, yeah, it's hard to just, like, realize that and know to pull back, you know to just back off, leave them alone, or even if you do want something, that you're better off without it. And it's especially sad, too, though, in this case, because it seems like Pyrrha likes Jean, you know, and she wants him to ask her. But it doesn't, you know, Jean is just completely oblivious to it. So it's quite sad there. So I feel for, like, so many different characters, you know, I feel for Pyrrha in that position, I feel for Jean in his position, I feel for Blake in her position. I don't really feel for anyone else, I suppose, because they don't really have any solid positions, but you get me, right? You feel for me in my position. So, yeah. What's going to happen in the next episode? I don't know for sure. I don't know what the thumbnail for the next episode is. I don't know what the title of the next episode is. I look at the titles right before watching the video, and that's like the first time I ever see them. And then I get the thumbnails after watching, because I don't want any hints along the way, you know? I really just want to, like, go in with a blind, fresh perspective sort of dealing. So, I'm looking forward to the next one, because we're definitely setting up some sinister stuff here. And, yeah, I was happy with this episode. I hope that you guys were too. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments below, whether you liked it, disliked it, what you thought about this or that, etc. Do not spoil things for me. Talk about this episode, any episode in the past, but nothing in the future. And don't even explain things to me unless they were previously explained. Like, if I need clarification, that's okay. But if it's new stuff, just don't mention it. Don't bring it up. Cool? Cool. Alright, so with that, we're calling it here. Cue outro, go!